Hello and welcome to the progress. I am Aravikalife. In today's session, we are going to learn about the types of economy. In last session, we learnt about the factor of production. As a continuation to that, we are going to learn about the types of economy. For knowing the types of economy, we have to travel back to the time scale of 1800s or beginning of 1900s because that is the time where the world has been bipolar. That is, the world is divided between two superpowers. That is, the West dominated by the USA, and to counter this USA, counter the America, there came the Russia. So their ideologies trickled down to their economic policies. So what are their economic policies? How their ideologies affected the economic policies? How it created the types of economy? We will see that in the future slides. As I told earlier, the market economy is dominated by your America, and non-market economy as a counter to the America, it is came by USSR, that is your Russia. And this market economy gave rise to the concept of capitalism, and the extreme form of capitalism is your free market economy. When it is coming to the non-market economy, the system evolved from the non-market economy is nothing but your socialism, and the extreme form of following the socialism is nothing but your communism. So what are these? Capitalism, free market economy, communism, socialism. Like these four terms I kept in front of you. Don't get confused. I will break it down. I will break the complex term and I will make it simple for you. Don't worry. So first we will see what is this market economy or what is this US dominated economy did, how they unfold. Okay. Consider a market economy came into the existence by the concept created by the Adam Smith. That is, the Adam Smith is a person who during the 1800s created a system of economy known as the free market economy. This free market economy is a concept created by Adam Smith, and by creating this he formally inaugurated the economics as a subject. So economics as a subject has been introduced, or economics as a discipline has been introduced by Adam Smith after he created the type of economy known as free market economy. So he credited with the name of father of the economics. So what is this free market economy created by the Adam Smith? I will explain. This free market economy is nothing but society gets unintended benefit from someone's self-interest or action. Okay, and the self-interest is nothing but the invisible hand. What is this? Society, unintended benefit, and self-interest. What is this? Don't worry, I will explain. So consider there is a society. Consider there is a society. Let's keep like a random number. In the society, there are 100 persons are there. Consider the society, there is 100 persons are there. Okay, no economic activity has been taking place. Nothing has been taking place. Think like this. Okay. In this 100 people, suddenly one man got the idea that he should produce the pen because he is feeling the need of the pen. Since then, there is no pen. Just imagine, it is a hypothetical situation. Imagine that in the 100%, one person wants to create a pen, something to write. So, what he thinks, he should invent, he should create a pen. Like this he is thinking. So, in this 100%, one person is getting an idea to create the pen. For creating the pen, what and all is required? All your factors of production is required because here he wants to produce the pen. For this, what and all he required? He required a labor, he required a land, he required a capital, he required asset. Like this, he required all the things. In this, from where he will source the labor? He will source the labor from the local population. Think like this. Okay, so he's sourcing the population, or is sourcing the workforce from the local population. Since then, the local population is not doing any work, is getting the employment in that factory. So they are going to get the wage for their employment in the factory. So what is going to happen? They are going to get the benefit by getting the wage. So they doesn't wanted to work in the first place. Since one man is creating the factory, he is calling for the work, they are going for the work. So it is an unintended benefit to the workers. But this unintended benefit came only because of the self-interest of one person. This is known as animal spirit. Everyone are using the word animal spirit. Animal spirit is nothing but one person's self-interest driving the unintended benefit. So this is the animal spirit. Then you keep like this. Now he's created the factory. He created one factory. Keep like this. Okay. If he has created the factory, he needs worker. Correct. He needs what kind of workers and all he needed. He need like a security. He needs security to monitor the factory, and he needs local technicians. He need technicians, and he need a supervisor or a manager. He needs a manager, and above the manager he needs the CEO. Like this, he needs more categories of worker, because a one person cannot do all the job. Like he will be monitoring the company, he will be the CEO of the company, he will be the technical staff to the company. This is quite impossible, or the work will become very ineffective. So he needs all cadres of worker, like a top level decision making authority, a technician, a low level authority. Like this, he needs that separation of workers, and the separation of workers should be more pronounced for the free market economy to work. First, for the free market economy to work, we need the self-interest, and when the self-interest is there, then he needs the proper demarcation of the laborers. That is top level, bottom level, mid level, like this. That differentiation should be well pronounced. Then he produced the pen. You keep like this. Now he produced the pen. Now what he is going to do? He wants to sell the pen. Where he will go and sell the pen? He wants to sell the pen in the market. And for the free market economy defined by the Adam Smith to work properly, it requires the market should be, without in the market there should not be any influence of the government. That is, there should be no government interference should be there. Which means, then who will fix the price? Who will monitor everything? It is very simple. According to him, the prices and everything is decided by market forces. That is, prices decided based on demand. Prices decided based on demand and supply. Okay, it is not decided by the government. The prices of the commodities are decided based on the demand and supply. In this way, the market is going to function. And he is telling that there should be zero market interference for the free market economy to perform. So he is again telling that there should be zero government interference should be there. So these are the principles based on which, if the free market economy should work properly, then there should be the self-interest. The person who is creating the pen is a person with self-interest here. Keep like this. And for creating the pen, he need the factory. And the factory should be having a proper demarcation of the laborers. After having the demarcation of the laborers, once the product, the pen has been produced, it is going to be sold in the market, and the market should be in such a way that there should not be any government interference, and prices should be decided based on the demand and supply of that product. This is the thing which is being told by the Adam Smith as an ideal situation for the free market economy. You may think, what is this? Before going to that, I told zero interference of the government. Here I told zero interference of the government. The technical term for the zero government interference is your laissez-faire. Okay, this laissez-faire is a technical term coined by somebody to refer zero government interference. That is, leave it alone. Let the market fix everything by itself. No need to interfere. Okay. It may seem that then what is the capitalism? He created the free market economy. Capitalism is exactly the same concept as the free market economy. But there is a minute difference between the free market economy and capitalism. What? I told in the free market economy there won't be any government interference. Zero government interference. But in the capitalist economy, there will be very minute or very small level of government interference will be there. But it won't bother anybody, the demand supply like this, it won't bother. Just for the sake there will be a minute presence of the government. This is capitalism. So we can tell like this, the highest form of capitalism is nothing but your market economy. You are getting this. This concept has been given by the Adam Smith. Now, this concept is going good. Everything is going fine. You may tell, then what is the problem? Because when there is a problem only, to counter that problem, the other economy should come. No. Then what is the problem here? Here everything is going correct only. But there is a problem. What happened? In the long run, you see here, in 100%, only one person got the self-interest for creation. So he is becoming an entrepreneur. But in a long run, you keep like this. There is this 100% in long run, out of this 100 people, like let's say like 5 people got the self-interest. Okay, so they are becoming an entrepreneur. The remaining 95% of the people or 95 people are poor or wage earners. So these 5 people are amazing large amount of profit because they are the owner, they are the entrepreneur, they are going to take a not fixed amount, they are going to amaze the profit. But in the same time, the 95% of the people are wage earners and their salary is very fixed. It is not going to it is not going to change very dynamically, but profit is going to change. Profit is going to increase. So what is happening? Let's keep like this. After some days, total income generated, the national income, I told you in the factor of production, the national income is becoming, let's say like 100 crores. Factors of productions are 100 crore. The sum of the factors of production, you remember, no, national income. This is the national income. Whatever the factors of production is going to get for their service, the land is going to get rent, labor is going to get the salary, capital is going to get the interest, and entrepreneur is going to get the profit. So when we are adding all these factors of production, we are going to get the national income. So in this national income has been 100 crore. But in this, all the factors except the entrepreneur factor is fixed. It is almost the same. But in this 100 crore, this entrepreneur's profit alone is amounting to say let's 90 crores. So remaining 10 crores has been shared by, rest of the 10 crore is shared by remaining 3 factors of production. That is your land, labor, capital. But 90 crore is took by only entrepreneur. This land, labor, capital is amounting to 95% of the people or 95 people. And 90 crore is earned by only 5 people. So what is the problem? The inequality is very high. What is inequality? If you are earning 10 and your neighbor is earning 8 means inequality is just 2 rupees. But in this case, one person is earning 90 crore and one person is earning only 5 crore or 10 crore. Then the income inequality is very huge. What is the problem of this income inequality? Yeah, there comes a problem. You keep like this. If suppose tomorrow there is an accident or health issues happening in both the rich person and the poor person house, what the rich person will do? He will go to hospital and he will take the treatment and his disease will over and he will become normal. But when the same thing is happening to the poor people, he is not having money to afford the high class treatments. So what will happen? The patient will die or he will survive with pain. This is one problem. Second problem, the rich person used to build the house, Paka house, but the poor person used to build the Kacha house. So tomorrow you keep, suddenly the flood is coming, like that happened in Delhi or Yamuna. Like that suddenly the flood is coming. What will happen? The Paka house will tolerate to some extent, but the Kacha house will wear away. So the poor person is going to suffer, and that is going to trigger a lot of effects to him. This is one more issue. Third, he can't put the insurance properly because already he is earning very less amount. Tomorrow some accident is happening, something is happening to him. Suppose if he is a breadwinner of the family, then his dependents will get the insurance amount and they can live their life at least for some minimum amount of time. But in case of poor person, he can't pay the insurance. If the breadwinner got something, then that is the end of the story. Like this, inequality is having large amount of problem. To address this inequalities, to counter this system only, there came the Russian model, which has been mooted by Karl Marx in his ideology of socialism. I'm not going to confuse you. We will learn about this socialism and Karl Marx in a later thing. First we will complete this market economy. Okay. Now I told this income inequality has been created. this income inequality is on the exaggerated form by all the factors combining together, and it created the 1929 depression, Great Depression of 1929 in the USA, which had a very huge economical consequences in the overall world. Okay, at that time what happened, everyone realized there should be some change should be made to the economic model pronounced by the Adam Smith. That is, there should be some change to the free market economy or the capitalism. At that time there came a person known as Keynes, John Maynard Keynes. You can see the name also here. The name of the person is Keynes. Who is this Keynes? Keynes suggested some idea to recover out of the Great Depression, or he suggested some idea which he borrowed from the Russian non-market economy, and he wants that it should be mixed with the market economy. What idea he borrowed? He told that there should be some social perspective to the market economy. The social perspective will come only when the government interference is there. Because when government is not having any interference, how the owner or how the MD will be thinking that, okay, he is poor, he should live properly, he should get the insurance, like that, why he should think? He will be thinking about only his profit. So there should be some minimal government interference should be there. These things are proposed by the Keynes. By taking this method, the economy is slowly getting recovered from the Great Depression. Especially your Western economy is getting recovering by taking this. In the due course of time, the new form of economy has been raised as mixed capitalism or mixed economy. Okay, why it is called mixed? Because it took some trait from the Russian economy of government interference. So it became a mixed capitalism. Okay, and what is the important thing here means the France became the first country to successfully implement this mixed economy by implementing the plan known as the Monet Plan. And this Monet Plan is unlike our Planning Commission's plan of 5 years. This plan is of 6-year plan. Our plan is a 5-year plan. So this is the first planned economy of the mixed economy that has been experimented by the France, which is successful to some extent. We will see the story later on. Like this, the economies are getting slowly recovered, but capitalist mindset are not allowing them to settle with the idea of Keynes. Again, they want to get the profit, so they don't want the government interference. They want that government interference should be minimized, and this idea is slowly circulating in the Western economy, and this idea is bolstered or this idea is emboldened by the Washington Consensus. Washington Consensus is given by your West-dominated World Bank, IMF, like this. They gave a consensus, they came with a consensus known as Washington Consensus, which told that there should be the presence of government should get reduced, and there should be, and this consensus is not having any social perspective to the economy. Like this, it's been happening. Because of this only we got the Great Depression. Again, they are forgetting their effect and they are going back to the older system. So what has been happening? As I told earlier, again the economy suffered because of this, but this time it is not a depression, it is a US subprime crisis. That is, it is a depression, but the technical name is US subprime crisis of 2008. It came. Once again, everybody realized that there is a need of the government interference. So again they went back that there should be some government interference in this. And again, this bank, your World Bank and IMF also accepted this idea, and they emboldened or they fostered this with a consensus known as Santiago Consensus. This Santiago Consensus, see here I wrote, this Santiago Consensus is also given by your World Bank, IMF, like this, your West-dominated economical organizations. What is the difference between the Santiago Consensus and your before consensus? That is your Washington Consensus. Means the Santiago Consensus especially had a provision for social perspective, and it had a provision for the government interference, which the Washington Consensus did not have. So in this form, they become like a mixed capitalist form. Okay, we can't call it as complete capitalism, but we can call that it converted into the mixed form. So what is this mixed form? We are telling from beginning mixed economy, mixed form. What is this mixed economy? You may be having doubt. Don't worry, I will explain what is mixed economy. Now we covered the market economy. Now we should cover the contemporary non-market economy. Then we will understand how this both converted to the mixed economy. What is this mixed economy? What is the difference? I will come to the later after covering the non-market economy. With respect to the market economy, there are twin phenomenal economists are there. As you can see, there is the Adam Smith. I discussed about him earlier also. He is the father of economics. And there comes a John Maynard Keynes, who gave the solution to the modern problem of economics. So he credited with the name of a father of the modern economics. Adam Smith is just a father of economics. He is a father of modern economics. That is the difference. Okay. Then what are the works of them? The most important works of them is Adam Smith gave the free market economy, which works on the principle that leave it alone. That is laissez-faire. It is working on the principle of laissez-faire. That is leave it alone. He invented this principle. But on opposite end, Keynes came with the principle of ending the laissez-faire created by the Adam Smith. And again, what are the works of them? Inquire into nature, cause of wealth of the nations. Theory of moral sentiment. Like this, the works of both of the persons are given. There are a lot of economists, but there is no need to study about each and every economist. But as a civil service aspirant, we should have a knowledge about at least Adam Smith and John Maynard Keynes, because they are credited as father of economics or modern economics. So if you can't read about all of this, you should definitely read about these two persons, at least their works. There are a lot of probability that questions related to them can come, because in the past also some questions has been came related to what is paradox of thrift, what are the works of him. Suddenly they can give tomorrow economic consequence of peace. This work is belongs to John Maynard Keynes, Adam Smith, Karl Marx, like this. So you should not get confused. So try to have a clarity over this. In this way, we are ending the market economy. They are converted to the mixed economy. Now, coming to the non-market economy, we are seeing this 95% of the people are exploited for the 5% of the people. Income inequality is increasing. To counter this, there came an we can call him philosophist or a sociologist, Karl Marx. One man known as Karl Marx came. He came with the ideology of socialism. His ideology of socialism is simple, that since there is no allowance of government in the market, so only the owner is doing this much thing in the greedy, you can't see all other 95% of the people getting exploited. So we will take away this private ownership. Since there is a private ownership, there is a greediness, there is a exploitation, inequality is widening. So he understood private ownership is a problem. So he came with the concept that abolition of the private ownership and everything, there should be the collective ownership of the government should be in place. So he came with the system of socialism and socialism. And communism is extreme form of socialism. There is a difference between communism and socialism. But I am just telling, as of now, communism is extreme form of socialism. In socialism, what he told, state means here the government. State means not that your India or your Russia. Here, state refers to government. State means not any country. State means government. Government has exclusive control over the natural resources. This kind of economics is socialist. But in the same case, if the government is having control over the natural resource and also control over the people, then it is a more strict form, that is known as communism. I will give you the example. Like you think like this. Suppose there is a government, and this government wants to create a factory, or somebody wants to create the factory. In that case, the government, by exploiting the natural resource only, we can get the factory. Suppose we want to make the paper, you keep like this. Paper is coming from the tree. Tree's pulp only we are getting the paper. So we are going to exploit the natural resource. For whatever you want, the primary source is your nature. So government is taking control of the nature. So no any private person can claim ownership of the nature and tells that I will cut the tree and I will do this because it belongs to me. No government interferes like this, nobody can tell. Here government is having ownership. If you want to create the factory of paper, you have to request for the permission. But in this case, government won't do this because government is controlling the factory. But government won't control the persons. Labor is not controlled by the government. Like labor should work work for this time. They should do this. Like this, no mandatory condition is there in socialism. But in communism, they will control the this also and people also, because in communism, no person can open a factory. What, even if he is getting the idea to open the factory, if he is getting the idea to produce the pen, as in case of the market economy, in socialism, there is a chance that he can open the factory by himself, open the factory. But with respect to the communism, government is having control over the people also, so he can't open the factory. He is opening the factory in the socialism means he is not having liberty to do anything by exploiting anything. In this, government's interference will be there to the maximum, but at least he can open the factory. But in communism, even he can't open the factory. This is the extreme form of the socialism. Okay, so this kind of socialism is followed in your erstwhile Russia, that is USSR, and this communism is being followed by the China. And apart from the government intervention, there might be some individual intervention. I told this earlier also. You remember, if he wants to open the factory, he can open the factory. A small factory he can open, but the government intervention will be there. But individual can also do. But with respect to this, it is complete government interference, and no, not an individual can open a factory like this in a communist model. And in the socialism, there is no restriction to religion. You should follow this religion, only will respect this religion, nothing like this is there. So therefore, religious freedom is there. Whatever religion you belong to, there is a freedom of religion is guaranteed. But with respect to the communism, even your religion is taken into account. That is, there is no role for the religion. This is with respect to the communism. I hope you understood everything. Then everything is going here good, and according to, since the government is interfering in each and everything, the inequality will be how much? In market economy, it is more. To counter this, only this came. So naturally, the inequality will be reduced. But what is the problem? Here, state is having the ownership of everything like resources or something like over the factor of production. What will be having? Wage of every person will be more or less same. Even if you are finding the idea, you are working, you are doing anything, wage will be more or less same. When the wage is same, what will happen? Even when the people is having the idea to innovate a pen or something like this, they won't do that because they can't claim the ownership over this and they can't amass the money. So what will be happening naturally? The idea to innovate will get reduced. That scientific temper will get automatically reduced. They will be behaving mechanically because everything has been taken care by government. They will behave like this. And when the inequality is reduced like this, what will happen? When everything is fixed by this, when there are producers are there also, competition won't be there. For economy to grow, competition is must. Because today we are telling India is best, China is best, USA is best. How we are telling? Based on the competition, we are coming to this decision. When the there is everything government interfering, competition will also be lost. The working spirit will be lost. And the idea to create the capital is zero. They can't create any wealth. The people can't create any wealth. Creation of wealth becomes zero. So your R&D, everything will become zero. Because of this absence of market and competition, no idea of creating wealth, no motivation to work hard, because everybody is going to get the same pay even if they are working hard, and virtual absence of innovation, everything I discussed earlier. So how they see the Western economies understood their mistake by the Great Depression and the subprime crisis. So they converted to the mixed economy. But how this communist and socialist understood their mistake? Is there any underwent any depression or like this? See, later they are seeing that the Western economies are doing well with respect to GDP or with other things. But slowly their policy is becoming like a protectionist nature. So they started becoming very less. Western is growing well. By seeing this, your China and Russia especially, went to the liberalized economic scheme by opening up their economy and taking some trade from the other economies and including that in their economies. Now we will see what is the mixed economy. As you know, in the mixed economy, the price is neither determined by the government like your market and non-market economy, or price is determined by the private. It has been determined by the private and government. Role of the government is to provide the suitable environment. What is this statement? I will explain here. Consider there is a market here, and this market gets some rice supplies from the producers. Okay, suddenly you are hearing that from next month there is going to be the war between Russia and Ukraine. Of course, it is happening now. The war has been started and it has been 1 year. But you think suddenly there is going to be the war between Russia and Ukraine. So there is going to become a scarcity of the rice. You think like this because everyone will be thinking that there's going to be the problem. So what we should do? We should stock up the rice because we don't know in future whether there will be the constant supply of the rice or not. So they will stock up. When they are stocking up, what will happen? Demand for the rice will go up. When the demand for the rices goes up, the price will also rise. But natural price is more than the natural price rise. These vendors, these providers of the rice use this situation in favor of them and they wantedly increases the price like anything. If the price is increasing to 5 rupees, but for their profit they are increasing this to let's say 100 rupees. Like this they are increasing means then it is going to damage the common person. And nobody can be say that I can't buy the rice. No, I can't buy the rice with 100 rupees. I won't eat rice. Like this no one tell. Because rice is the basic food we are consuming. So in this time the people is going to get affected. So what will happen? In this time the government, generally the price has been fixed by demand and supply or private. During this kind of scenarios, what will happen? I will write here. Government will interfere and tell that you should not sell the rice at this price and rice should not be stocked up. Like this, something has been told means the private can't tell this. Government will interfere and tell like this so that there will be the constant supply of the rice also and the price also will be remaining stable. So this will be the role of the private in the mixed economy. And factors of production is owned by government and private. As in earlier case, in capitalism, the factories, I'm telling factories, it is also one form of factor of production. It is owned only by the private. There is no government interference visa. When it comes to socialism, the factory can be owned by the private, but only small factories can be owned by the private, that too with lot of restrictions from the government. When it comes to communism, zero. The private can't do anything, only government can be the ownership of the factors of production. But in the mixed economy, both the private and government can be the owner. For example, I will tell the example of India. India, after we are getting the independence, we followed the mixed economic policies only. What is this mixed economic policies? We reserved some industries for the government and we left the other industries for the private. For example, I will tell like your atomic energy. Your atomic energy is the exclusive right of the government of India. In this, private can't build the factory. Okay, I'm telling just for example. Okay, in other case, you keep like other industry like automobile industry. In this automobile industry, initially government has the stake, but now even private can build their factory or everything. There is no monopoly. Or government, if they want also, they can build a factory and create an automobile like this. So there isn't proper demarcation. Private can also control the factor of production and government can also. So it focuses, in this case, it focuses on both the growth of government and private. So these are the advantages of the mixed economy. Now you understood that what is market economy, what is the non-market economy, and what is their current form. Currently they are following the mixed economic policies principle. Okay, so this is with respect to the types of the economy. I hope that types of economy is clear to you. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for watching the video and have a great day. Thanks. All the best for your future. Thank you.